My beloved child, be still for a moment. Set aside your worries, your fears, and the endless noise surrounding your heart. This moment is not an accident. There is a reason you are here. Even before you pressed play, God knew this very moment would come. I come to you as Michael, a servant of the Most High, a guardian who stands in faithful service to God's will. I do not speak to replace God's word, nor do I come to reveal hidden secrets about your future. I come with a reminder that echoes throughout Scripture. God has not forgotten His children. Perhaps you have been asking the same question over and over. Lord, when will my life change? Maybe you have whispered that question through tears. Maybe you asked it while driving to work. Maybe you asked it as you lay awake at night, staring into the darkness, wondering if anyone truly sees your pain. Heaven has heard every prayer. Not one tear has fallen unnoticed. Not one cry has disappeared into silence. The God who created the stars also knows your name. You have walked through seasons that seemed impossible. Doors closed without explanation. Friendships faded. Dreams were delayed. Opportunities slipped away just when they seemed within reach. At times you wondered if God was silent. But silence does not mean absence. A seed grows underground long before anyone sees the first green leaf. In the same way, God is often working where human eyes cannot see. Do not mistake waiting for abandonment. The Father has been preparing what you could not prepare for yourself. There are battles you never knew He fought on your behalf. There are dangers you never saw because His mercy stood between you and harm. There are blessings already moving toward your life, even though you cannot yet hold them in your hands. Do not give up now. You are closer than you realize. The enemy often whispers that nothing will ever change. He wants you to believe that disappointment is your destiny. Do not believe that lie. God is able to restore what seemed impossible to recover. He can bring peace where anxiety has lived for years. He can rebuild what others destroyed. He can strengthen what has grown weak. He can open doors that no human being has the power to close. This is why hope matters. Hope is not pretending that life is easy. Hope is choosing to trust God's character, even when you cannot yet see the outcome. Perhaps you feel ordinary. You look around and wonder why others seem to move ahead, while your own path feels slow. Remember this. Throughout history, God has often chosen ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary purposes. He sees faithfulness before He sees fame. He values humility before recognition. He strengthens hearts before changing circumstances. So today, lift your eyes. Do not define your future by your present struggle. The chapter you're living now is not the entire story. God is still writing. Every sunrise is another reminder that His mercy is new. Every breath is evidence that your purpose is not finished. Your greatest testimony may still be ahead of you. Walk forward, one faithful step at a time. Trust Him when you understand. Trust Him when you do not. For the one who began a good work is faithful, and His love remains steady even when life feels uncertain. Stay with me, beloved child, because this message has only begun. The next chapter will reveal why the waiting season may become the foundation for the greatest transformation of your life. My beloved child, there is something about waiting that few people understand. Most believe that waiting is empty, that nothing is happening, that time is being wasted, that heaven has forgotten. But what if your waiting has never been wasted? Think of the seasons of nature. Winter can appear lifeless, yet beneath the frozen ground, roots are growing stronger. The tree is not dead, it is preparing for the spring that is still to come. So it is with many hearts. You have looked at your life and seen only delays. God has looked at your life and seen preparation. There is a difference. If every prayer were answered the moment it was spoken, many blessings would arrive before people were ready to receive them. God, in His wisdom, often shapes the heart before He changes the circumstances. Perhaps you prayed for greater opportunities. Have you considered that God may first be building greater wisdom within you? Perhaps you prayed for influence. He may first be teaching humility. Perhaps you prayed for peace. He may be gently leading you to trust Him in the middle of uncertainty rather than only after it has passed. Growth is rarely comfortable, yet it is often in the hardest seasons that faith grows the deepest roots. Do not despise the small beginnings. Every act of kindness, every quiet prayer, every decision to forgive, every moment you choose integrity when no one is watching. None of it is wasted. Heaven sees what the world overlooks. The world celebrates what is loud. God often blesses what is faithful. So if you feel unseen today, remember this. You're not unseen by the one who matters most. The Father knows every burden you carry. He knows the dreams you have shared with no one. He knows the fears you hide behind your smile. And His compassion has not run out. Sometimes you ask, Lord, why is this taking so long? The answer is not always simple. Some doors remain closed because they are not meant for you. Some paths are delayed because they would lead to harm. Some seasons are extended because they are shaping your character in ways that comfort never could. One day, you may look back and thank God for the prayers He did not answer exactly as you expected, for His wisdom reaches beyond what human eyes can see. Do not lose heart. Your value is not measured by how quickly your circumstances change. Your worth is not determined by your income, your title, or the approval of strangers. Your identity begins with this truth: you are loved by God. Nothing, not failure, disappointment, or uncertainty, can erase that truth. So today, choose hope again, not because every problem has disappeared, but because God remains faithful. The same God who carried His people through deserts is able to carry you through this season. The same God who brought light into darkness is able to bring clarity into your confusion. The same God who keeps His promises has not forgotten yours. Lift your eyes beyond today's struggle. Do not allow fear to become the loudest voice in your heart. Let faith speak louder. Walk one step at a time. Pray one prayer at a time. Love one person at a time. Trust one day at a time. Before long, you may discover that what once felt like a season of waiting was actually the place where God quietly transformed your heart. And when the new season begins, you will not only have different circumstances, you will have become a different person, stronger, wiser, more compassionate, and more deeply rooted in faith than ever before. Remain steadfast, beloved child. The journey is unfolding, and God's grace will continue to guide every faithful step you take. There are moments in every life when fear seems louder than faith. Fear speaks quickly. It tells you that your best days are behind you. It whispers that your mistakes are too great, your failures too many, and your prayers too late. It tries to convince you that tomorrow will look exactly like yesterday. But fear is not the voice that God calls you to follow. Faith does not deny the storm. Faith simply refuses to believe that the storm has the final word. Think about the countless times God has carried His people through impossible situations, again and again. When hope seemed lost, He made a way where none could be seen. His faithfulness did not depend on perfect circumstances, it depended on His unchanging character. The same God who has been faithful through generations is still faithful today, so why does fear continue to return? Because fear focuses only on what human eyes can see. Faith looks beyond the visible. Fear says, "You are alone." Faith answers, "God is with me." Fear says, "Nothing will ever change." Faith replies, "God is still working." Fear says, "Give up." Faith whispers, "Take one more step." My beloved child, every time you choose faith over fear, even in the smallest way, your heart grows stronger. Strength is not built only in moments of victory. It is built in quiet moments when you decide to trust God despite unanswered questions. Perhaps today you are standing at a crossroads. One road is filled with doubt. The other is marked by trust. The road of trust may seem uncertain, but it is never walked alone. God walks with those who seek Him. Even when you cannot feel His presence, His care remains. Even when your emotions change, His promises do not. Do not measure God's nearness by your feelings alone. There will be days when your heart feels full of peace. There will be days when your heart feels weary. God remains the same through both. Remember this truth. Your current season is not your permanent identity. You are not defined by your hardest chapter. You are not forever known by your greatest disappointment. God's grace is greater than your past. His mercy is new every morning. And His purpose for your life is not erased by the obstacles you face. Sometimes change begins quietly. Not with dramatic signs, not with instant miracles, but with a heart that slowly learns to forgive, a mind that chooses peace over worry, a spirit that continues praying even when answers seem delayed. These quiet transformations often become the foundation for greater blessings later. Do not overlook the small victories. Every day you choose hope instead of despair is a victory. Every time you show kindness instead of bitterness is a victory. Every prayer spoken in faith is a victory, whether you see the answer immediately or not. Heaven celebrates faithfulness. The world often celebrates speed. God delights in steady trust. So if your progress seems slow, do not lose courage. A strong tree does not grow overnight. A deep river is not formed in a single day. The greatest works of God often unfold one faithful step at a time. Lift your eyes once more. Your story is still being written. The pages ahead have not yet been turned. God is able to write beauty where there was once sorrow. He is able to bring peace where anxiety once ruled. He is able to replace despair with lasting hope. Walk forward with confidence, not because every question has been answered, but because the one who holds your future is trustworthy. Keep your heart open. Keep your faith alive. Keep your eyes fixed on the God whose love never fails. For the season ahead is not meant to be ruled by fear. It is meant to be shaped by hope, strengthened by faith, and filled with the quiet assurance that God is leading you one step at a time. Stay with me, beloved child. The message is not finished. There is still more to discover about the transformation God desires to work within every heart that continues to trust Him. My beloved child, there are wounds that no one else can see. Some are hidden behind a smile. Others are buried beneath years of silence. You have carried burdens that few people understand. You have smiled when your heart was breaking. You have encouraged others while quietly wondering who would encourage you. Know this: God sees what the world cannot. He knows every disappointment you have faced. He knows the prayers that ended in tears. He knows the dreams that seemed to fade before they could become reality. Nothing has been hidden from His loving gaze. There may have been moments when you questioned your purpose. You looked at your life and wondered whether your struggles had any meaning. But hear this gentle reminder: pain does not have the final word. God has a remarkable way of bringing purpose out of seasons that once seemed empty. A broken heart can become a heart filled with compassion. A season of waiting can become a season of wisdom. A time of loss can prepare you to comfort someone else who walks the same difficult road. The hardships you have faced do not define you. They have shaped you. Every challenge has taught you something that comfort never could. Every setback has strengthened your perseverance. Every unanswered question has invited you to trust God more deeply. Do not think those lessons are wasted. The world often measures success by visible achievements. Heaven often measures faithfulness by quiet obedience. The smallest act of love done with a sincere heart matters to God. A gentle word spoken to someone in pain. A prayer offered for a stranger. A forgiving heart when bitterness feels easier. These moments may seem ordinary, but they reflect the character God is forming within you. Do not underestimate the power of simple faithfulness. Sometimes the greatest miracles begin long before anyone notices them. They begin when a discouraged heart chooses hope again. They begin when a weary soul decides not to give up. They begin when someone whispers, "Lord, I still trust you," even through tears. That quiet prayer reaches heaven. God is never distant from those who seek Him with sincerity. When life feels uncertain, remember that your circumstances do not change God's nature. He remains loving. He remains just. He remains faithful. The promises of God are not built upon changing emotions. They are grounded in His unchanging character. So when fear rises, answer it with faith. When doubt speaks loudly, return to prayer. When discouragement whispers that nothing will improve, remember how many times God has carried His people through impossible seasons. The future is not written by fear. It is held in the hands of the One who created heaven and earth. Lift your eyes beyond today's struggles. Do not allow temporary hardships to convince you that lasting hope is gone. God's timing is often different from human expectations, but His faithfulness never fails. Perhaps today you cannot see the full picture. That is all right. You are not asked to know everything. You are simply invited to trust the One who does. Take one faithful step today. Choose gratitude for what you have. Choose kindness when the world encourages anger. Choose hope when despair seems easier. These choices may appear small, but they shape the person you are becoming. And one day, when you look back on this chapter, you may realize that the season you once wished away became the very place where your faith grew strongest. Beloved child, do not lose heart. The God who has guided you this far will continue to lead you. His grace is sufficient for today. His mercy will meet you tomorrow. And His love will remain with you through every season of your life. Rest in that truth. Walk in that confidence. And keep your heart open, because the journey is not over. The next chapter will reveal how hope grows stronger when you choose to trust God one day at a time, even when the path ahead is not yet clear.